I am Deborah R. Richardson of Deborah R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes so that you can pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is: do I need to solicit the new IRS Form W-9 from my existing vendors? And if you clicked on this because you're like, what new IRS Form W-9? Well, maybe you missed it back in July 26, 2023, when the IRS issued a draft version of a new form, W-9. It had a revision date of October 2023, but they just never came out with it. Well, guess what? Uh, March 6th, they published the new form, and it's a little different than the draft form, but it was published on March 6th, 2024. So, as of the release of this video, that was maybe a week and a half ago. And then the actual instructions for the requesters of the Form W-9, those came out March 11th. Well, now you may think, do I need to go back and get the W-9s updated for all of my existing active vendors? The first question, though, I want to tackle is, well, is there a grace period? Because when the IRS issues or publishes new W-8 forms, there's a 6-month grace period, but they don't have that with the W-9. And if anyone can find it, or maybe you've worked with a tax professional that has been a part of I don't know, a W-9 audit, and the IRS had some type of ruling on it, would love to hear it, but there is no grace period that is documented on the W-9 or in the instructions for the requester of the W-9. So you do need to start collecting this immediately. It is effective immediately. But you do not need to go back to your existing active vendors and get one from them. Why? Because the W-9s do not expire. Unlike the W-8s, that where the W-8s will expire year three or 12/31 year three based on the signature date. That's not true with the W-9s. The IRS actually puts the onus on the vendor to send you a new W-9 whenever their information changes. Now, we know that doesn't normally happen. So if you are aware that their tax ID or their legal name, that combination no longer matches IRS records, then you can then go and require a new W-9 be submitted. And if you do it now, you do need to make sure you're giving them the revised version March 2024, because it is now active. Now, if you want some training on the W-9, I have a training session. I will put a link in the description, but I will go over all of the changes that are now part of the revised March 2024 version, and then we'll take a look at just highlights or overview over the W-9 form as a whole, but then we'll take a look at separately IRS examples or W-9 examples based on tax class. So we'll look at each of those, and there will be an example visual, and then we'll talk about really what to look for when you accept them from your vendors, and more importantly, when you need to send it back and have them corrected and send it back to you. All right, so again, I will put a link in the description if you are interested in enrolling in that training session. All right, so if you'd like more information how to improve your vendor process, please go to my website at deborarrichandson.com for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, fines, and just overall bad vendor data. Now, if you'd like over 115 annual hours of training for your vendor team, check out the Vendor Process Training Center at training.deborarrichandson.com. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe, and then also hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.